Now, this is a very strong statement, and we're starting off the show just like this. Now, Baylor has been under fire the past several years due to all sorts of not holding responsibility and caring about wins more than student athletes and, more importantly, victims of sexual assault. Now, the Big 12 board announced Wednesday that they will withhold 25% of Baylor's future revenue earnings. And it's pending of an outcome of a third-party verification review that requires changes to the school's athletic procedures and Title IX area, along with so many others. Now, Bob Bowsley, the Big 12 commissioner, said Baylor has already received a $10 million payout for the part of 2016-17 academic year. And the league expects a total payout of $34 million for each of its top 10, the 10 schools. Now, the league will withhold, again, the 25% of the projected $24 million payout to Baylor, or about $6 million this year. And I think we can all agree with it. This is just a small amount of what's going to happen at Baylor. A lot of people, we had Stephen A. Smith call out Baylor and say the NCAA should lay the death penalty on Baylor. And we've talked about this several times on the show. How Baylor, I mean, you look at what's happened. We give death penalties to schools who pay student athletes, which student athletes should be paid. And so a program gets, made an example out of for that. And then we have the Jerry Sandusky thing, something that happened decades before, but we punished those at Penn State had nothing in connection with. We have seen Baylor's athletic administration be nothing but rewarded rather than be disciplined. Art Briles, yeah, he's being somewhat disciplined. I would not be shocked, and this is not throwing shade at Alabama or Nick Saban, but I wouldn't be shocked if Art Briles became the OC at Alabama. I doubt it, but I would not call it a surprise. But the fact that former athletic director Ian McCall got a same position at another university is a disgrace and an embarrassment and a slap to the face to all those sexual assault victims and anybody that cares about this stuff, to know that he is now leading a athletic department of student athletes, young adults, after screwing up a university and allowing things to happen. You have other assistant coaches going to big-name schools, including the University of Texas, who was defending Art Briles, and we have evidence now that Art Briles knew about this after those text messages came out, defended him, and yet he got a job. He's rewarded with a position. Kendall Briles also knew about it. Now the offensive coordinator at FAU. The president, the former president of the University of Baylor University, is supposedly going to be is one of the front runners for Trump's administration staff somewhere, some department, something. I mean, what punishment has Baylor received? Then you have Matt Rule, who comes in here. You're thinking, hey, he's going to change his culture a little bit, lay some foundation, and just start over. One of his coaches, not a previous coach at Baylor, one of his coaches, a new coach, comes in there, gets arrested for soliciting a prostitute. Yeah, he got fired, but there's something is wrong in Waco. And if there's ever going to be a death penalty, or ever should be another death penalty, it should be on Baylor University. The Big 12, they've had enough. And now they're making their own kind of rules on them. That's withholding the 25% of future revenue. Now, Bowsley said that the review would address, among other things, a relationship among the Baylor Board of Regents, executive staff, the athletic department, which has been a point of contention lately among Baylor fans as well as alumni. The Big 12 announcement also comes after sources told Outside the Lines last week that the NCAA is casting their own somewhat it's an investigation, but not labeled an investigation. To determine what NCAA rules have been violated during Baylor's sexual assault scandal. The NCAA is also asking whether Baylor players might have been provided improper recruiting inducements, among other illegal benefits, while playing for the Bears, according to sources. Now, Kendall Briles, before he ended up leaving to take the FAU offensive coordinating job, he also got in trouble and fined by the NCAA for recruiting improper benefits. So there's more stuff that's happening. Now, Bowsy said Wednesday that the NCAA and the U.S. Department of Education investigations will likely move slowly, which I'm not shocked. But he said the conference, they're going to do their own things and they're going to work faster. Bowsy said after the third-party review or in light of the findings by the NCAA and or the U.S. Department of Education, the board might decide to permanently withhold some of Baylor's funds as a fine or penalty. Now, of course, the title of this is, will Big 12 kick Baylor out of the conference? I'm not going to completely rule it out. If they find more stuff that's happened at Baylor, and if other things continue to happen at Baylor, Baylor has not put a light into the Big 12. People think, well, Baylor gave them some, type of spotlight because they were been successful along with TCU, while Texas and Oklahoma had been struggling. Now, Oklahoma's back on top, of course, but it's been the complete opposite. Baylor has brought more bad media to the Big 12 because of all this. Will it get to the point that the Big 12 kicks out Baylor? Probably not. Most likely unlikely to happen. But I am applauding Bob Bowsley acting like a true commissioner of a conference and saying, you know what, we're going to do our own punishments to you because you haven't learned from the past since 2011 how to deal with situations and how to deal with this. It's been bad, and you're making us as a conference look bad. Clean it up, or more is to come.